G'day, it's Phil here and welcome back to my channel. Well, today I've got another little bit different video. The Royal Australian Mint annual report for 2023-2024 has dropped finally. We're around about the 20th of October and the Royal Australian Mint website dropped the annual report on, I think it was Thursday the 18th, and if you go to the Royal Australian Mint website you can see it there under their corporate information. So let's dive into the report. I've read through it. I've got a little bit of detail about it, and I just want to go through, talk through what the circulating coins numbers have come out and landed on, and also go through some of the non-circulating coins, the collector coins, and leave it open for discussion for the community to decide what coins are good to keep, what coins will be hard to find going forward, and just basically get the information out there. So let's dive into the report. Here we see the front page of the report, 2023-2024, called Change, and it's got the King Charles III effigy on a 2024 aluminium brass coin, and it looks like it might be the $1 coin because it's got the ridges and the flat pieces, so it looks like it might be a $1 coin. The report is about 77 pages long. It is a company annual report, so it meets all the requirements of company reporting in Australian under Australian law, and it goes through the financials as well as it has an explanation from the board. The Royal Australian Mint works similar to a company, even though it is a department of the government. It needs to report itself to the Treasury, and so let's go through the report. Got a couple of pages here, Royal Australian Mint annual report, and then it gets into the letter of transmittal. It was signed off on the 25th of September 2024 and lodged to the Parliament prior to the 30th of October, obviously, because it's now before then. And then it goes into what is actually in the report. Got the overview, the Chief Executive's review, a year in review, which is basically telling the public what's happened within the Royal Australian Mint, and then it has some highlights and achievements. And it's got its compliance sections, the management and accountability, the account performance or the annual report performance statements, the financial statements, and then the appendices. And the appendices is really what we want to have a look at, because we want to know what circulating coins have been issued. So if we go through the introduction, I'm not going to read most of it. I've made some notes, and there's a couple of pieces that I want to go through before we hit the circulating numbers, just things that I thought were quite interesting in relation to what the Royal Australian Mint has said about the year. And so I'll quickly go through those. It's got the corporate profile, the purpose, the Chief Executive's review, which tells us the story of what they think the year was like from the Mint's point of view. And I think the first point that I've highlighted here is on page 12 in relation to the demand for circulating coins. As the Mint currently knows it, it says the coins drawn by the commercial banks from the coin pool managed by the banks, the combination of the reduction in the coin pool and the coins sold by the Mint to the commercial banks reveal that demand for the 2023-2024 circulating coin was about 100 million pieces with a value of 55.9 million. And so for me, that sort of tells me that there was a much less demand in the coins. It also is interesting to note that the coin pool of circulating coins in Australia is managed by the banks. So they have their own coin pool outside of what the Royal Australian Mint holds or manufactures, and they manage that pool to circulate and service the economy. So that was on page 12. That was interesting to me to note that the coin pool is managed by the banks. There is a bit of further information that I'd like to point out. On the review itself, it also goes through down the bottom here that the Royal Australian Mint had an issue with its compliance and underpayment of wages to casual employees. And it goes on to say that there was a total underpayment, including interest, of $850,000, and that the Mint worked with the Fair Work Ombudsman to address the underpayment. So in that year they found that there was underpayment. It's very similar to a lot of companies in Australia. They were underpaying their employees, and they went back. They say they found it themselves, and they took it to the Fair Work Ombudsman, and they fixed it up and sorted themselves out. So fair play, but the fact that they were underpaying casuals is not a great outcome for the Mint, I would have thought. I would have thought there would be more scrutiny in relation to that, and possibly more media around that. But they were the two main points in relation to the report itself, the Chief Executive's report. And then on page 24, if we go past their year in review and their highlights and achievements, they talk about the Mint as a factory and the circulating coins in the economy. And this is one of the things that was interesting to me, because there was a couple of notes that were made here to see what that sort of says about it. Continued demand for circulating coin was met in part from the coin pool managed by the commercial banks. The coin pool at the end of 2024 was 166 million pieces with a value of $92 million. And the coin pool at the end of June 2023 was 219 million pieces with a value of 118.7 million. So for me, without knowing where the coin pool lies and what banks have what parts, in June 2023 there was 219 million pieces, coins, with a value of 118 million. But at the end of 2024, there was 166 million pieces with a value of 92 million. So that's a drop in actual pieces of around about 50 million pieces to the value of $26 million was withdrawn from the coin pool. And so if we talk to ourselves and we talk amongst the community about where the coins have gone and why they seem to be not that many out there, there has been a significant amount withdrawn from the coin pool in the financial year of 2023 to 2024. That's very interesting to me, because anecdotally it seems to confirm a lot of people's thoughts that there are less coins out there, and there seems to have been coins audited out of circulation, and that sort of draws the conclusion that that may well be the case. And so then it goes on to talk about the numismatic coins and all the things that happened within the Mint. The Mint also always talks itself up, so it goes on to talk about other things within there. But the circulating coin pool reducing by close to 50 million pieces is a very interesting outcome. And the other part of that is the fact that not a lot of coins were issued into circulation through the year. Significantly, we were told that in 2022 that there would be no circulating coins in 2023. And that was because of the death of Queen Elizabeth II and the fact that they didn't have a new effigy for King Charles III to be able to mint coins. One of the highlights of the year of 2023 in late December was the issue of the new effigy, which was at the front of the presentation, the annual report. And one of the things that the year in review shows us was that there was a significant amount of $1 coins issued in 2023, just on 7 million produced in the financial year. And I'll go on to show you exactly how much that might have been, but there was only one kind of coin issued into circulation, and that meant that there was not a significant amount of coins issued by the Royal Australian Mint. There seems to have been a demand that was supplied by the coin pool and previously minted coins that the Royal Australian Mint issued out. And I think those of us who noodle and have seen older coins turning up in circulation in nearly uncirculated condition, that may well be the case, that older coins have turned up or been used in the economy without new coins being issued. The other thing of note that I wanted to talk about in relation to brand awareness, the donation dollar. And part of their brand awareness is the donation dollar being known by the Mint. But another piece of information that was quite interesting to me was that donation dollars shipped during the 2023-2024 year was 4 million. And so we know that the donation dollars were only minted in 2020 and 2021, but they had not all been issued into circulation. So during 2023, you can see there December, November and October in 2023, they put out just over 4 million of those coins, and they still hold another $159,220 donation dollars at the end of June 2024. So there's still donation dollars that have been minted but are not yet in circulation and are still being held by the mint in their, I'm assuming their inventory, their stock, that can be issued and probably will be issued over time out into circulation. And that was very interesting to me because we get our mintage figures, which tells us exactly what the mint makes for a particular year, but we hardly ever get told what gets shipped. And this is a good indication that even though a coin might get minted in the 2020 or 2021 year and noted in the annual report after that, doesn't necessarily mean that that is all then shipped out into the economy. And I think we've seen that in the past. If we've got collectors who've been looking at these sort of things for many years, sometimes it can take 4 or 5 years for us to know that coins have either been minted and shipped or minted after the year of an original minting. The other thing I wanted to make a mention of in relation to the Royal Australian Mint's collecting coin program was those coins that were sent out. It does make reference significantly to the issues that it had in combating against bad actors and bots and resellers trying to corner the market on the collector coins, and they changed the way that they issue their coins to a ballot system. They talk a little bit about that. But the other thing that I wanted to note was in relation to their actual orders and how they get delivered. One of the things that our coin community has been talking about is how long a time it takes for coins to be issued and delivered to people who are successful in the ballots that they've created since January 2024. And one of the things that tells us about that is their commercial manufacturing statistic, which is called DIFOT, which is the definition of DIFOT is delivered in full and on time. And the Royal Australian Mint has a current expectation that commercial sales orders will be shipped within 10 working days. So that's very similar to other manufacturing companies, that if you take an order for something and you manufacture it, then it should be delivered within a certain time frame that you set within your company to make sure that your manufacturing process is slimlined, lean, or can deliver what you've said you can deliver. The Royal Australian Mint says it should ship within 10 days. But their actual statistics for their performance target says that they should, 90% of all orders should be shipped within 10 days. But the actual results achieved on that was 57%. They actually comment on that and say the DIFOT is 5% against a target of 90%. And DIFOT is measured against the number of orders placed and delivered within 10 working days. It does say why that was impacted in that year, because it was driven by customer activity and the eventual transition to an online ballot system. And whilst the ballot system enabled the Mint to resume selling directly to its customers, it's not been a smooth transition. This is something that we haven't really heard about and that the Mint doesn't really talk to us about, the collectors. It says the early ballots required manual intervention to ensure duplicate customer records were not created in the MRP system, which delayed the date from order to dispatch. And it does say that the initial issues have now been addressed. However, the timing of sequential releases has also led to a backlog of orders to be dispatched. So realistically, that gives us a good idea of why it was taking 8 weeks or 9 weeks for things to get delivered in the early ballots. And now, later in the year, say August or September, we're getting things a little bit quicker. The ballots were monitored quite hard for duplications, people trying to game the system rather than one person, one item. It looks like they had to do it manually. So that's a little bit of insight into what's been happening with the collector coins and also within the Royal Australian Mint itself. So that's really some of the things that I've come to find interesting within the report. So let's now get into the circulating coin. That's what everyone's here to hear about, to figure out where we're at and so forth. So within the appendices of the annual report, we have the circulating and non-circulating numbers. Appendix B shows the circulating coin production of the appendices, and it shows that in 2023 dated coins, only one coin was issued. And we're all waiting to see how many of the King Charles III $1 coins were issued, and it says 6.2 million. So not particularly low minted, not particularly high minted, but a significant amount of 2023 King Charles III coins were out there, and we're still seeing some of those turn up, as you would have seen in some of my videos quite recently. Still getting Royal Australian Mint rolls with those 2023 King Charles III's. And then it goes on to show how many coins were issued in 2024. There's nothing there that is of significant note. We did have a circulating commemorative coin, the 50th anniversary of NAIDOC Week, and there in the middle of the page you see the 50-cent piece NAIDOC Week coin, 2.3 million minted for the year. I must say that these are not necessarily hard numbers. The way that the annual report works is that they work from the 1st of July of 2023 to the 30th of June 2024, and if any coins were issued after the 30th of June 2024 into July, August, September, they will come into next year's report. So currently, if all the NAIDOC coins had been produced before the 30th of June, 2.3 will be all that there are. But if there was more coins issued in that latter or the second half of 2024, there will be more coins in next year's report. So at the moment, it's a medium sort of low mintage coin. 2.3, it's not particularly high, but it's not particularly low. We have the Marbo at 1.4. We have the Iatzis at 3 million. It sits sort of in between there. It will be hard to find in some places, and it will be hard to find as time goes on at 2.3 million. So it's definitely worthwhile keeping the NAIDOC coin if you come across it in good condition, and that is the key, in good condition. The other one I wanted to make note of there is the 5-cent piece. The 2024 5-cent piece is currently at 10 million. It's 10 million flat, so that it could have been as many as have been manufactured. We know that all of the coins, all denominations of coins have been issued in premium rolls. So you can go and buy premium rolls of all the coins at the moment. So they've all been issued and manufactured to some extent. The 10 million of the 5-cent piece means it sits somewhere just at the third lowest mint of that number. The 1972 10 million is 8.3 million. The 2016, the changeover coin, which is a commemorative coin in itself, was 4.8. And then the lowest minted of the 5-cent pieces is the 2019 Jody Clark effigy at 2 million. So 10 million is relatively low, but that also works in with the fact that there wasn't much demand for coins realistically across the economy, and there wasn't that many coins issued through the Royal Australian Mint out into the coin pool of the commercial banks. If we have a look at the previous year, we'll see that the previous annual report for 2022-2023 had very similar sort of numbers. There was the donation dollar, which they told us was minted in that year, in 2021, the 75th anniversary of peacekeeping, which was the last $2 coloured coin issued into circulation, 2 million of those, but nothing for 2023. So the 2022 to 2023 annual report did not show any 2023 circulating coins. The 2023-2024 annual report only showed the $1 mob of roos that was issued into circulation, so that will be the only circulating coin issued in the year of 2023. No 5s, no 10s, no 20s, no 50s, no 2s, other than no 2s actually at all. The previous was in 2022, so that now brings to close at this point the fact that only one coin was issued into circulation in 2023. So then we can move on to the non-circulating coins, the collector coins. And here we see the Appendix D, which is the coin collector production, and it's quite lengthy. There's quite a lot of coins that were issued into the coin collector pool, and I won't go through them all. I've highlighted some of the ones that I know that we are interested in or have been interested in. The first here on the page that I've highlighted goes to the Bluey dollar bucks. The one Bluey coin and the one Bingo coin, the mintage, even though it's unlimited mintage, it's 1.25 mil is what they say have been minted in those two coins for circulation, because we know that they're for circulation. They've hit the Australia Post, which is quite low minted for a $1 coin. and they're something that you might want to have a look at, keeping in good condition for the long term. I can't talk about any type of investment, or this is not personal financial advice, but you may want to keep some of those if you have the chance. Also goes into the 2024 $2 coloured uncirculated coin, the Rugby League, the men's premiership and the women's premiership season. They were issued through Anaconda throughout Australia, across the tills, and there was only 1 million of those issued each. So they're another coin that would be quite hard to find. That's the same sort of number as we look at the coronation coin. In a number of years, the coronation coin now 10 years on is significantly hard to find. The same may be said for the Rugby League coloured coins, but we'll see how that goes. Currently they are still particularly hard to find in circulation around the traps, so that might be something that you might want to look out for. It goes through all the circulating coins. We've had the Australian Football League, goes through the P&Cs. Then we have the Australian Football League's men's premiership, the 2024 version of the coin, which was the best and fairest, 1.25 mil. The women's premiership, which is also the best and fairest, the 1.25 mil. Again, a very similar sort of number to the blueies. You can find them quite readily at the moment. You would have seen in my noodles that at the moment I'm finding them quite often, but there aren't that many of them realistically, and they will become hard to find down the track. The other coins, we go through the football coins, all of the collector coins in the kind of proof coloured or the silver or the P&Cs. Generally we know what those mintages are. The P&Cs always have the actual numbers on them in the P&Cs, 7.5, 6.5. It's pretty much what the Australia Post asked for. The proof coins on the $1 was 5,000. We knew that. That was a very hard coin to get at the time. We have the envelope preview marks in the P&C, the same sort of deal. We're fairly confident with those hard to find coins that we knew what the numbers were going to be. And even though this number over here, or this figure over here, it says unlimited, that was the amount that was issued for any particular coin. That's the way this works. You've got the mintage and the quantity. The mintage being the maximum amount of coins that can be issued, and the quantity being what was actually issued. If it says unlimited, it means that they can keep making them if they want to, but that was the amount that was actually manufactured in that year. We have the Creatures of the Deep, which was the 2023 year, which would have started in the 2022-2023 year and continued into the 2023 year. There was 3,314 of those, which would add up with the previous years and possibly add up to that 7,500 mark. The other things that I noted in relation to what the Royal Australian Mint has said, we have the $2 coloured uncirculated coin, the Australian Paralympic team for 2024, 49,912, and the 3-coin set for the Olympic team, 73,802. Those coins were minted for a event that happened in July, and so they may well be only partially recognised as the amount of coins that were issued. The 3-coin set was sold through the Royal Australian Mint, and the number of those coins are usually included in the total number of coins that were issued. And if we see that further on, we will. The other thing I wanted to note was the Tooth Fairy, the 2024 Tooth Fairies. The uncirculated coin in a kit was 21 million. The coin in a card was 21,000. 25,000 for the coin in the card. So a total of under 25,000 at this stage for the Tooth Fairy. The Tooth Fairy coin is unlimited, so they can continue to mint those. Although I haven't seen any of the 2023 Tooth Fairies mentioned in this year. So that may look like that would end up being the number, just under 50,000, but we'll see again next year how that works. We have the envelope preview marks, which for me was interesting that the mintage is unlimited on the envelope preview marks. That's unusual in my opinion. There was 7,250 of those issued for the envelope preview marks, and they were actually quite hard to find. Personally, I did not get one ballot win in any of these 10 envelope privy mark issues. But then we had the 10 coin collection of the Bluey dollar bucks, 157,500. Relatively high for the whole set, the 10 coin set, but that means that the coins that were not issued into circulation, where Bluey and Bingo were issued into circulation, all the others, the healers, muffins and socks, there's only around about 157 of those to go in around the traps. So relatively low minted in the other coins within the sets. And then we go through more Australian Football League, the 2024 issue, around about the under 20,000 mark, usually related to how many members of those clubs there are. We have the 20-cent coin collection for the Australian Football League, 135,000 of those. I thought I'd make a note of that. It's a 20-cent coin collection. The National Rugby League, again, as I said, Anaconda issued those, and the individual coins, again, usually issued in conjunction with around about the membership. Quite a different disparity of numbers across the clubs. We have the coin collection set. There's only 36,000 of those for the National Rugby League, and they're the ones that were sold through Anaconda. So not as big a set that as was sold through Australia Post for the Blueies, 150. There's only 36,000. It's relatively small in that regard. And I just thought I'd highlight this 50-cent uncirculated coin in a PNC, 10,300. But there is a mark there against it, and the mark does say that the units were produced, however, never released into the market. So I'm unsure about that. I might be asking the mint exactly what happened there, because I don't understand how a 50-cent uncirculated coin was minted but not issued into circulate, or not issued out. And the last bit on the page, this is the end of it. We go to the circulating coins, the 50th anniversary of NAIDOC committee, the swap sachet. 5 coins in a sachet, 8,000 sachets of those. So if you see the Royal Australian Mint selling coin swaps, there's only 8,000 of those sachets that are available for sale, and that'll be on top of these normal 50-cent circulating coins. And lastly, again, as I talked about the Australian Paralympic team, we have 1.5 million, and then we have the 3 coins individually at 1.5. So the fact that further up in the report we had the individual coins here at 49,000 and 73,000 with an unlimited mintage, and then 1.5. Usually what that means is that this is the amount of coins that were issued, these 1.5, and the sets that the Royal Australian Mint make up and sell, those numbers sit within that 1.5. That's usually how it works. If they make 1.5 and then they package up a whole heap, those numbers sit within the 1.5. So they, again, 1.5 is a relatively low number for a $2 coloured coin. And again, I haven't seen a significant amount of those. I actually not noodled an Australian Paralympic team coin yet out of circulation, so I'm still yet to find one of those. And 1.5 might mean that there's quite a lot out there being kept, or they're still behind the scenes with no demand for them. Although they were sold to Woolworths, that's why they're called uncirculated coins, and Woolworths have either banked them or held them for their own purposes. So I hope that helped everyone going through the annual report. If you've got the time, you can go through the annual report yourself. It's on the Royal Australian Mint website. It is public information, nothing that you can't find for yourself. But I'd love to start a conversation in the comments. What do you think about the coins that are low minted? Do you think that they are actually low minted? What coins do you think you're finding a lot more than other people around the traps? Because I'd love to hear that sort of information shared amongst the community. But the Royal Australian Mint does a relatively good job. The annual report shows that it does talk itself up a bit. There's a lot going on in the coin collecting community, and circulating coins this year haven't been particularly diverse. It's been quite tough in relation to circulating coins. Not much new coming out. A little bit of corporate product, which has hit the shelves, which is great. But now hopefully we'll see more coming online 2024, 2025. But thank you for listening to this long-winded review of the Royal Australian Mint Annual Report 2023-2024. If you like what I do, please think about subscribing. As I say, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear the commentary and spark some conversation about what people think about the annual report. But I will be back for more noodling soon, so I'll see you then. Bye.